Listen to the sound of the waterfalls. Breathe deep the mountain air, and take a step back in time as you enter Hakone, Japan. Hakone is located a short 90-minute drive from Haneda Airport and is served by train and car. For those who are unconcerned with real-world problems, you can also visit Hakone via private helicopter, but that's not us. Welcome to part 2 of our Japan trip. The charming resort town of Hakone is one of the most popular getaways for those who need a break from the mania that is Tokyo. The town is nestled at the base of Mount Fuji and is known for their public art, hot spring baths called onsen, and traditional overnight guest houses called ryokan. Alicia and I had the opportunity to stay at the ultra-fancy Gōra Kadan. Gōra is part of the exclusive Relais Châteaux brand and lives up to everything the brand stands for. The hotel is located walking distance to just about everything in town, including their version of downtown, Gōra's train station, and Hakone's famous open-air museum. More on that later. Walking into the hotel, we were greeted by staff in traditional attire, who quickly whisked us away to our room for a speedy check-in. Speaking of this room, let's take a look. Guests can choose from a traditional Japanese bed or Western bedding like we opted for. The tatami mat floor are soft and clean. Remember to take off your shoes. There are outlets for your electronics, flat screen TVs, and everything else you could possibly require. For those of you who are interested, yes, you do get your very own Japanese space toilet. Our room had a well-appointed bathroom with steam and traditional showers, but outside is the real showstopper. Outside, you'll enjoy your own private patio with stargazing area and private hot spring pool. Look at some of these views from your patio. Alicia and I found the hot waters the perfect remedy for our jet lag. Because it was cold when we arrived, the hotel gave us special winter puffer vests that matched perfectly with our attire. While staying at Gōra, make sure to tour the gardens and grounds of the hotel. Trickling waterfalls, rustling trees, and beautiful wooden corridors are everywhere to be seen. The main attraction of staying at a ryokan is their food and beverage. Guests are treated to a traditional Kaiseki meal. Kaiseki are extravagant and typically include 8 or more plates. They're served with exquisite attention to detail and are intended to appeal not only to the sense of taste, but all 5 of your senses. They're a chef's interpretation of the seasonality of food. All that is easy for me to say. Just take a look at some of this exquisite food. After an amazing meal, we're off to bed to prepare for the next day. A new kimono, and it's time for breakfast. Like dinner, guests are treated to an extravagant breakfast. You'll be given an option of Japanese or Western breakfast, and each is a multi-course affair. Filled with fuel for the day, Alicia and I decided to visit the famous Hakone Outdoor Museum. It's a short 10-minute walk. Tickets are required, but are well worth it. Okay, so we're here in beautiful Hakone, Japan, at the base of Mount Fuji. We're actually at the Hakone Open Air Museum. It's a beautiful outdoor kind of sculpture garden. If you guys know anything about me, I'm not really a big fan of going to museums just to say I went to museums, but this is the exception. This is a beautiful experimental garden. There's kids areas, there's art that makes music, there's places that you can walk through. It's really actually pretty impressive.
And it's got a whole Picasso museum, which we weren't expecting. And there's a bunch of beautiful cherry blossom trees, which are going to be even more stunning in a few weeks when they are fully blown.
But even I was really impressed and highly recommend you adding this as part of your visit. While in Hakone, you should try and visit Lake Aceh, a magnificent freshwater lake with views of Mount Fuji. Alicia and I took the train to the top of the mountains, try and get the best views and ride the gondola that spans the peaks. Returning to the hotel, we got ready for our second night's meal.
This is our last breakfast while we're here in Hakone. Today we opted for the Western meal. We did a Japanese breakfast before this, and it was absolutely extravagant and over the top. And because it was so good, we decided we also wanted to try the Western version, which is equally over the top.
All right, so this morning we've got the Western style breakfast. I've got eggs, yogurt, we've got some type of soup here, and an amazing salad. And everything has its own unique dishes. We've had 4 meals at this hotel, and I think I've only seen 1 plate repeated, and it's been my coffee cup.
It's just a really impressive experience. It's almost like its own art form, and it is included in the price of your room. So every guest gets a dinner. So we had our dinner our arrival night, and then our second night, and then a breakfast yesterday and a breakfast on our departure day as well. You can choose if you want Western or if you want Japanese style breakfasts, the first dinner is always Japanese style. It's the full Kaiseki meal. I think there's 9 courses and 13 different plates. You're not going to finish it all, but it is a wonderful way to kind of immerse yourself in the culture.
Guests have options on second and third nights of their stay about what kind of meal they want. We opted for the charcoal grilled beef and were presented with our very own charcoal grill, where we could grill to our heart's content. For those of you who hadn't had Japanese beef, it is a spiritual experience. I won't get into the argument between Kobe and Wagyu and American Wagyu and Australian versions. All I'll say is that if you've had the real thing, there is no comparison. Bellies full, we were off to bed, where the hotel had arranged to have in-room shiatsu massages for us both. This was the perfect way to cap off the night and our visit to Hakone. We made our way down the mountain to Odawara Station before boarding the Shinkansen for our next stop, Kyoto.
So we just arrived in Kyoto from Hakone. This was my first trip to Hakone, which I really enjoyed. I think it was the perfect place to start our trip so that we could relax, recover from jet lag. We got to experience that spring onsen. We had one directly in our room. They had a beautiful open air sculpture museum. You can go see Mount Fuji. So for me, it was a great way to start my trip. What do you think, Max?
Well, I've done it both ways. I've started and ended my trip, and Hakone is a wonderful place if you're going to adjust to the time zones. Do it in Yutaka. Have a wonderful time relaxing, adjusting the time zones. If you're going to end your trip there and you've been walking and running everywhere, it's a great place to end your trip and kind of take a breath before you get back on the plane. Either way, highly recommend it. But now we're here for Kyoto. You guys ready?
Catch you next time.